Love is conditional? My wife proved it. The hum of the Suburbans lulled me into a false sense of security every morning. Same route, same time, same cluster of soccer moms wielding travel mugs, all ferrying their precious cargo to Lincoln Elementary. Sarah used to be one of them. A radiant smile plastered across her face, a volunteer coordinator extraordinaire. Now, she barely looked at me during drop-off, her eyes darting everywhere but mine. It was a subtle shift, barely perceptible to an outsider. But to me, it felt like an earthquake brewing beneath our foundation. Our life had been textbook. 2 kids, Liam and Olivia, a decent house in a decent neighborhood, 2 cars, 2 incomes. Well, 1.5 after Sarah decided to stay home with the kids, the occasional vacation to Disney World. We were not rich, but we were comfortable, secure, until we were not. The Peterson Tower project. That was the turning point. A massive, multi-million-dollar development downtown, a real game changer for my firm. We poured everything into the bid, late nights, weekends sacrificed, countless revisions. I genuinely believed we had it in the bag. Then, the rug got pulled. We lost to some out-of-state firm with deep pockets and slick marketing. The fallout was brutal. I had to let go of 3 talented architects, people I considered friends. The office felt hollow, filled with a quiet dread. I stopped sleeping, fueled by coffee and anxiety. And Sarah? Sarah started changing. It started small, complaining about the budget, rolling her eyes when I mentioned the layoffs. Maybe if you were a better businessman, she would mutter under her breath. The compliments faded, replaced by a constant stream of criticism. I was too tired, too stressed, too something. I could not put my finger on it. Then came the phone. A new iPhone. Top of the line, supposedly for organizing the kids' schedules. But she would clutch it like a lifeline, disappearing into the bathroom for calls with Karen, her sister. Her passwords changed. She started showering twice a day. Robert, my best friend since college, saw the cracks forming. Mark, I am not saying anything is definitely going on, but just keep your eyes open, man. He was a lawyer, pragmatic and grounded. I needed his bluntness. So I did. I started paying attention. The late nights helping at the school bake sale that stretched until almost midnight. The sudden interest in expensive boutiques downtown. The way she would flinch when I touched her. The proof came unexpectedly. Sarah had left her phone on the kitchen counter. A text message flashed across the screen. Dinner was amazing. Cannot wait to see you again. D, my stomach dropped. D. Who the hell was D? I picked up the phone, my hand trembling. I knew I should not, but I could not stop myself. I scrolled through her messages. Delete, delete, delete. She was careful. But then I found it, buried deep in a thread with Karen. A picture. Sarah, laughing, her arm draped around a man I did not recognize. He was older, handsome, with a predatory glint in his eyes. The caption, drinks at the peninsula. He is so generous. Generous. That word stung. It implied I was not. I confronted her that night. I did not yell. I could not. I just held out the phone, my hand shaking. She paled, her carefully constructed facade crumbling. What is this, Sarah? She stammered, trying to deny it. It is nothing, just a friend. A friend you are having dinner with at the peninsula? A friend who is generous? My voice cracked. Who is he? The truth came spilling out, a torrent of justifications and excuses. She was lonely. I was always working. We were not having enough fun. She needed to feel appreciated. His name is David, she finally admitted, tears streaming down her face. He is. He has been very supportive. Supportive. Another word that cut deep. I thought I was supporting her, supporting our family. Apparently I was failing miserably. How long? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. A few months, she said, avoiding my gaze. A few months. My entire world had been a lie for months. We tried counseling. Dr. Evans was patient, insightful, but it was like trying to patch a dam with tissue paper. Sarah was going through the motions, but her heart was not in it. She blamed me for everything, for losing the Peterson Tower, for not being the man she thought I was. I need more, Mark, she said during one particularly brutal session. I need someone who can provide for me, for the kids. You are not that person anymore. That is when I knew it was over. I did some digging. Robert helped. David Harding, a local developer, the same guy whose firm got the Peterson Tower contract. The pieces fell into place with sickening clarity. I confronted him at a charity gala, a black tie affair filled with Chicago's elite. He was charming, arrogant, oozing wealth and privilege. He barely acknowledged me, dismissing me with a wave of his hand. "Stay away from my wife," I said, my voice trembling with rage. He smirked. "She is a grown woman, Mr. Davies. She can make her own choices. She is married," I said, my fists clenched. "To me." "Was," he corrected, his eyes glinting with malice. Soon to be was. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to destroy him, but I did not. I could not. I just walked away, defeated and humiliated. The divorce was a nightmare. Lawyers, depositions, financial statements. Sarah wanted everything. The house, the cars, a hefty alimony payment. She claimed I was an unfit father, that my workaholism had damaged the children. It was Emily who kept me afloat. Emily, my colleague, my friend. She had always been there, a quiet presence in my life, offering a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on. She understood the pressure I was under, the devastation I felt. One night, after a particularly grueling day in court, I broke down in her office. I told her everything. Every detail of Sarah's betrayal, every fear I had about the future. She held me, just held me, without saying a word. And in that moment, I felt a flicker of hope. I moved into a small apartment downtown. It was sterile and impersonal, a far cry from the cozy suburban house I had shared with Sarah and the kids. But it was mine. A fresh start. Co-parenting was a constant battle. Sarah was bitter and resentful, using the children as pawns in our ongoing conflict. Liam and Olivia were confused and upset, caught between their parents' animosity. One afternoon, Olivia asked me, "Daddy, why does not Mommy love you anymore?" Her words shattered me. I did not know what to say. How could I explain to a 6-year-old that her mother had traded me in for a richer, shinier model? I swallowed hard. "Mommy does love me, sweetheart," I said, forcing a smile. "Sometimes, grown-ups just have a hard time getting along." It was a lie, but it was the best I could do. Months passed. The divorce was finalized. Sarah and David were still together, flaunting their wealth and happiness on social media. I tried not to look, but it was impossible to completely avoid it. My firm started to recover. I landed a few smaller projects, enough to keep the lights on and the bills paid. I even started sketching again, feeling a spark of creativity I had not felt in years. Emily and I grew closer. We started spending more time together outside of work, going to concerts, exploring new restaurants. She was smart, funny, and fiercely independent. She made me laugh again. One evening, after a particularly successful presentation, we went out for drinks to celebrate. As we sat there, talking and laughing, I realized I was falling for her. "Emily," I said, my voice hesitant, I think I am starting to have feelings for you." She looked at me, her eyes filled with warmth and concern. "Mark," she said softly, "I care about you a lot, but you are still hurting. You need time to heal." She was right. I was still carrying the baggage of my broken marriage. I was not ready for a new relationship. Then, out of the blue, Sarah called. Her voice was shaky, tearful. "Mark," she said, "I need to talk to you." We met at a neutral location, a coffee shop downtown. She looked tired and drawn, her eyes red-rimmed. "David left me," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "He said I was too needy, too demanding. He found someone younger, someone more exciting." I did not say anything. I just listened. "I made a mistake, Mark," she continued, tears streaming down her face. "A huge mistake. I thought I wanted a life of luxury, but all I really wanted was you. Our family." She begged me to take her back, to forgive her. She promised she had changed, that she had learned her lesson. I looked at her, at the woman I had once loved with all my heart, and I felt nothing. The anger was gone, replaced by a dull ache. I had moved on. I had rebuilt my life. I could not go back. "I am sorry, Sarah," I said gently, "but it is too late. I cannot forgive you. I cannot forget what you did." I stood up to leave. "What about the kids?" she asked, her voice desperate. "Do you not want us to be a family again?" "The kids will always be our priority," I said, "but we can be good parents without being married. We can find a way to co-parent peacefully for their sake." I walked away, leaving her sitting there, alone and heartbroken. I do not know what the future holds. I do not know if I will ever truly trust another woman again. I do not know if I will ever completely heal from the scars of Sarah's betrayal. But I do know that I am stronger than I thought I was. I survived. I rebuilt. I found a new purpose. And maybe, just maybe, someday I will be ready to love again. Maybe with Emily. Maybe with someone else. But for now, I am content with who I am, with the life I have built for myself. It is not the life I envisioned, but it is mine. And that is enough.